Hello, everyone in Quantum Life. I am back from my trip. Just wanted to jump on here. It's getting a little bit late, but I wanted to get on and do an energy forecast for you guys about what's been going on the last week. We're getting ready for Second Sunday that's coming up this weekend on Sunday, and it will be a more elaborate version of it. But I wanted to give you guys something to help make a little bit of sense of what you're going through for a little bit. Everyone is in the midst of their shadow work right now. It's like, everything has been exposed, and I wanted to first a little bit tell you guys a little bit about my trip that I went on, because it helped me see things a little bit differently of why I'm going to be speaking about Second Sunday then and how it is. And little backstory is, like, basically for the last, I would say, 4 or 5 years, I have had my head down and I have been working on my mission, working on my purpose, working with all of you. And for, a good five years or plus, I have been life coaching around the clock, sometimes 50, 60 hours a week, doing shadow work, doing regressions, doing hypnosis, doing time travels. And that has been like extremely huge value for me in building modalities and building the academy, because I've built the academy around all of our sessions that I've had with you guys out there and what is needed and wanted, because believe it or not, it's exactly what I'm going through is what you guys are going through on a different filtration system in a different cycle. And with that being said, I had this opportunity to go do a land clearing in Arkansas, and it was a place called Brewer Mountain, a population of like 98. But on this land, there was a campsite, and it was owned and run by an old military vet who kept the land very, very private and worked meticulously on this campground, yet he never opened it, and he recently passed away last year, and his son inherited the land and realized why he couldn't open it. And the reason why he couldn't open it is because there's a lot of paranormal activity going on the land that he just lived with in nature. And so they called me to see if I could come down and make sense of the land and do a clearing if I needed to. And so I got down to this land, and immediately as I got on location, I realized that this was a very, very magical, intense, energetic vortex. This vortex is basically the equivalent of a let's call it an ET runway. So, it's a porthole for ETs to travel in and out, because it's on 3 points, and it's literally on very dense crystal baseline, so the water is beyond pure. If you guys have ever been to Eureka Springs, you'll go to Eureka Springs and you'll feel all like tweaking out, like the energy is very high because it's quartz crystals. Well, this type of energy that was residing underneath the ground was more of a dense crystal. It's called basically Arkansas crystal, it's more opaque. And the sensation that I got over and over in my head was, this place is a place to heal. This place is the fountain of youth. This place is a place for you to find peace. And so I didn't notice anything that needed to be cleared when I got on this land, but what I realized is that my job on this land was not to clear it, because there was old Indian burial grounds that were alive and well, ceremony sites that were still bringing the ancient knowledge through the grounds and through the memories and through the timelines, and everything was exactly as it should be. But my job was to go down there and educate the people about what they had, and the fact that this space and this location was really supposed to be used from a non-profit perspective, which means that the way we're going to heal this land was going to be to bring kids with cancer, to bring our vets there, to bring people who have struggled. So, and what that does is that heals the land. Anytime land has been completely in sync with nature, which was a lot of our Aboriginal cultures and a lot of our Indian cultures, then the land thrived. And, as the white settlers came through and basically raped and pillaged the land, that also left a vibrational frequency of unrest, because the land has never ever been for profit. And so the way that we're actually going to fix this land is we're going to have the camps opened so that people can come down to this healing place. I mean, there's waterfalls there that literally I walked on foot and went into a trance immediately, into a healing trance, and began feeling my heart chakra being worked on from this water energy and this vortex energy that was coming from the rock. Never experienced anything like it, not even Sedona. So very, very cool land. And my job is also to, as a messenger, is to now bring people there. So just a lot happened this weekend. And the crazy thing about it was I was planning on going live from my phone, from my computer, from my camcorders, from all of my technology, and the shamans that were holding the space for us this week would not let any of my technology work. Literally, I could not text my kids. I had to drive like 45 minutes to even text my children. So this was about me connecting to this land and really becoming a translator for this land so that I could educate the people who were taking care of this land to make sense of it, that there was nothing bad going on, but it was literally like a place for us all to live in peace. The old ways, the new ways, the ETs, the multi-dimensional doorways that were in the forests, and anyways, it goes on and on. It was very, very cool experience. And so I sat in meditation on this rock overlooking this lake in just complete peace, and asked, how could I be more of service in the shift right now? Because this shift is, this amount of shadow work that's coming up right now for all of us to work through isn't anything like we've been able to process before, because we're also trying to upgrade our bodies. We're trying to integrate our bodies onto this journey and really become one with our bodies so that we can be deliberate reality creators that we know we are. This virtual reality suit that we're wearing is how we manifest destiny. And if we're not in sync with this, then there's going to be a signal that's going to be off, and we're going to be signaling things that we want and things that we don't want. And that was exactly what was going on with this land. It was the most pristine, beautiful land that I've ever seen, and yet he wasn't opening these camps because of the, chairs rocking in the middle of the night and the lights going haywire and people just spontaneously seeing large creatures with green eyes and all this cool stuff, And so it's about learning balance. Balance with nature, balance with ourselves, balance with our bodies, balance with each other. One thing that I'm getting really strong right now is to stay away from drama. The ego loves drama because when the ego is involved in drama, it doesn't have to look within. It can look at what someone else is doing. It can look at, what else someone else is saying. Sometimes we're the person who's involved in the drama because, again, we want to project our scary, fearful-based feelings onto someone else. And what I'm getting big time right now is that if you can avoid people who bring drama into your life and things that create unnecessary drama into your life, then by all means, it's time to really stop and respond instead of react to all of this and make a conscious decision. Do I want to involve myself in drama? Because obviously when people's shadows are coming to the surface, it scares people. It scares people when your past keeps recycling and the patterns keep showing up, and and you find yourself in this groundhog effect when you feel like emotionally you're way ahead of where you should be living and breathing. And another thing that I got big time that will be in Second Sunday is our return to nature is going to be how we're going to heal the quickest, because the nature will put the body back into sync, and this body going back into sync will almost be like a docking system, and then we can just kind of ride these waves, these energetic currents that are just pounding the planet right now. And we're having the everything that could possibly challenge our secrets that we hide from ourselves are literally constantly being exposed, which means that no matter how long you've been living as a positive person, you're going to find yourself either repeating patterns of your old behavior or someone accusing you of that old behavior just within the last couple of weeks, and you're going to be like, well, I'm not even that person anymore, and realistically you're not. So on the way back, I really asked Spirit, I did a lot of prayer work while I was up there. And to me, prayer is about commanding, and it's about being one with the universe, not asking for anything, but just really being one with everything and asking, how can I be of service? And so what I've decided to do is until probably June of this year, I'm going to move out of retirement, and I am going to take life coaching clients for 2 days a week. And help as many people process shadow work as I possibly can throughout those 2 to 3 days, depending on how fast my schedule gets booked up, and really just be, acting in that service place. Anybody who emails Susie from this podcast and says, hey, I want a session with Jess, you can get 50% discount from my normal session prices, which is normally $120. So it'll be half price sessions from anyone from Quantum Life. And it's shadow work. You know, I don't want to, I want to help you get to the roots of what you can't get to yourself, or what someone else hasn't been able to get for you, because that is where I specialize. Is my job is to be a messenger and hold your higher self to the mirrors until you can walk one on one with that higher self, but also to move into that place where, you know, I can do what I'm really, really good at, and that is to walk that journey with you and hold us both accountable, because, you know, obviously every healer gets a healing every time they do one. And anybody who wants to record those sessions for the world to see would even get a greater discount on sessions. But I feel because of the way, we're not going to get a break in this energy until mid-year. It's going to be one thing after another. I think it's really awesome that a lot of you guys have gone and started working with, you know, different teachers and different modalities, and it's really amazing watching everyone kind of tune into their GPS systems and find what resonates with them, and that is, I would say, continue to do that, continue to thrive, and just follow that. Follow that North Star wherever that feels like, whatever direction, whatever modality, whatever person, and to stop following that normal status quo of rules and regulations and should be's and obligations, because that's what's keeping us from exposing our greatest untruths, which is the lies we tell ourselves about ourselves that keep us shackled to these old realities that are literally obsolete at this point. I mean, we can walk away from all of this energetically at any given time, but it's my job to be this messenger, to run this academy, and to facilitate that hand-holding or that guidance until at least the mid-year. And I had a really amazing summer break last year, and I got to retire kind of, and I just, on the way home from Arkansas, I'm like, I got to get back coaching. So if anybody wants a private session with me, reach out to transcendence KC@gmail.com. and get with Susie and just say, hey, I'm from Quantum Life and I want to get a session with Jess, and it's going to be first come, first serve, and I'll just book out as far as we need to book out, and we'll get the roots of shadows. We'll get the roots of the pain cycles. We'll get the patterns broken. Not that I'm like the best person in the world, but I'm one person that's willing to help. So, and you know, we also have tons of other teachers and tons of other practitioners that are available as well if you're in resonance of that. So I just needed to offer that. But as far as the energetic timeline of what we're looking at is, it's going to keep smacking us. The waves are going to keep hitting us until we start moving as the waves. When we start realizing we are the waves, when we start realizing we are the ocean, that's when we stop getting basically in the riptide. That's when the drama slows down. That's when we start to understand what is happening around us, and we start to become the rhythm of it. Because if you watch nature understands at all times what's going on, even if it's at the expense of nature. If you look at a tree in a hurricane, that tree knows exactly what its role is in that hurricane, and it never fights against that hurricane. And so our whole way that we're going to be able to integrate and upgrade our bodies is by basically docking up and sinking back into the rhythms of nature. We talked a lot about this in Tika last week, where we were talking about frequencies and music, and I really felt like everybody got that, because I will be teaching in the other group our third class of frequency and vibration, and it's all about that music of the soul and being the orchestra of the universe. And each person is basically a different orchestra player, and when we're in our higher self, it is this amazing symphony, and when we are in our lower self, it sounds like noise. And when we're in that lower self, it feels like we need to hold on to something, or an old idea, or an old identity, or an old body problem to feel safe. And really what it is it's all about letting go and connecting back into the flow and being with the flow. So what I want to leave you guys with is just to know that anything that's happening right now in your reality is to teach you to let go. It is to teach you to stand back and observe yourself in that relationship, which means it isn't what's happening with your boyfriend. It is what is happening within you by attracting what you attracted in that relationship, which means Where are you in that story? Not where's your boyfriend in that story? Where's the we in that story? Where are you in that story? Where are you with the things that you've created? And as you step back and look within, there's going to be a you that's waiting for you. Not someone else, you. And that's the people that I want to work with right now, are the people who are going, okay, it's me. I'm going to accept this. I'm going to take responsibility for this. I'm going to work on that. I don't want to keep repeating these patterns. That's when I want you to give me a call. That's when I want you to email me. And that's when I want to get to work, because we will go fast and we will do it together. But we've got to start looking at how we are showing up in our manifestations. Which means it isn't like, why do I keep manifesting this? It is, why do I keep wanting to experience this? Why do I keep choosing this? Why and how? And look at that as like a detective and saying, you know, when you go on that first date, instead of going, I wonder if he likes me, say, I wonder if I like him. I wonder how I feel in this chair sitting across from this stranger. Like, what feelings come up with me when I'm sitting across from this complete stranger, or this face that I've seen for every day for 20 years? Who am I with this person? Who do I choose to be in this job? And we've got to get back to that place. And then as soon as you accept who you've been in that moment, that's when you want to sink back up to nature. And you want nature to teach you how to be a spirit again. You want nature to teach you how to be you, because you can't learn how to be you by watching someone else, because you're watching an ego in motion, and your ego is going to contradict their ego, and now you're going to be in contradicting of, well, I don't have what they have. You have what that tree has. You have what that grass has. You have what nature has. And when you sink back up to that, and I'm a big advocate of using music as a part of nature. When I say nature, I mean frequency and vibration. So just like you wouldn't watch a movie without a soundtrack because you wouldn't be moved emotionally, your life should be all around music right now. If you don't know how you feel, if you've gone to the point of numbing yourself out to the point where you don't know how you feel in a relationship, that's when you need to turn some music on and you need to go, now how do I feel? And play every type of genre. Play the country music, play the orchestrated music, play the, all the different music, and say, how do I feel about this person when I listen to this type of music? Because you're multidimensional. So you're going to have different experiences with that same person. If you're confused about someone, if you find yourself in a drama cycle with someone, listen to music, because the music will answer your soul, because your soul is literally a song, and it's a very unique song. And that's why when you resonate with people, you have similar songs playing. And we talked all about this in Tika class, and so anybody who's in that class is going to really understand what I'm saying. But from you guys, from the energetic perspective, it's about not just surrendering and going, okay, someone come save me. It's about surrendering and then syncing back up with nature and really being with nature. It's like, if you don't know how to meditate, go watch a frog sit on a rock for 3 hours. What do you think they're doing? They're literally downloading the frequency of the universe as they're sitting there, and they're doing it from the sun, or and watching a bird. What makes a bird just get up and leave its perch? Why? What songs are they singing? Why are they singing it? If you just spend more time in nature and less about your own, and less being in your own head, because being in your own head has gotten you stuck. It's gotten you opinionated. It's got you logic-based. It's got you black and white. It's got you judgmental. And so the best thing that we can do right now, because the energy is just bombarding the planet with truth constantly, it's exposing all of our shadows. The only way to make sense of the shadows is to fully expose it and go, I don't know how to fix this. I need to go to nature to figure out how to fix my relationship. I need to go to music to figure out how to fix why do I keep repeating these same coworkers, or this job situation, or this money situation. And money right now, I cannot reiterate enough that it is linked with those three things that we talked about. Freedom, how I feel as far as my personal value to the universe, and safety. And I will tell you, underneath that is a heart chakra issue. Heart chakra. You want to open your heart chakra, nature is the quickest way. What is nature? Nature is its animals, its species, its music, it's everything. And I would say that adult humans are the least ones that I would want to spend time with, because they're the ones who are jaded, and they've really facilitated and strengthened an ego base around their energetic field. But children under the age of 7, animals, nature, music, when you're feeling stuck right now, or anxiety or panic attacks, even if you haven't had a panic attack in 15 years and all of a sudden you start having panic attacks again, this is where I want you to return to nature and just sit. We've got spring coming, so everything is blooming. If you find yourself in an allergy crisis right now, you know, this is all part of, believe it or not, allergies are all part of your personal trauma and wounding. Allergies don't exist outside of trauma. They are trauma related. And I'm actually going to see if Erin over in Quantum Life wants to do a joint class with me about allergies, and I'm going to give you the emotional causes and she's going to give you the treatments. So I've got to get with her and we've got to plan that class. So thank you guys for watching. Again, I will be coming out probably until June of opening up my schedule for 2 days for shadow work. Okay, intense shadow work, stuff that you just can't get over on your own. Reach out to me, get on my schedule, and let's move through your stuff and just connect back to nature until mid-June, and hopefully by then it will be smooth sailing, and we will really start to rebuild this planet as the messengers and the second coming. We have been the planted seeds, and now we are starting to bloom, and it is our job now to fill this world with color and love. All right, guys, enjoy.